Hey, Trinity families, we're off to another great start to a great week here at Trinity. And a part of the new tradition is we do a chapter of the week. And this week is Luke chapter 5. What an encouraging series of stories about Jesus early in his ministry, healing people and forgiving people. And the thing is, I was just reading it sitting here at my desk, just thinking about all the ways that Jesus has made a way for us to be in the presence of God. There's the story, it starts with the story of calling disciples. That isn't that the something that Jesus continues to do, is say, hey, would you come be with me? Do you deserve it? No. Are you the best and brightest? No. But you are the ones that I want to follow me. And then there's this story starting in verse 12 of Jesus cleansing a leper. And when he was in one of the cities, there came a man full of leprosy. And when he saw Jesus, he fell on his face and begged him, Lord, if you will, you can make me clean. And Jesus stretched out his hand and touched him, saying, I will be clean. This idea that if you touch a leper, you become unclean, but not Jesus. When Jesus touches a leper, the leper becomes clean. Cleanliness is not something, ceremonial cleanliness is not something we think about a lot in our culture. It wasn't immoral necessarily. Cleanliness had to do with just, were you fit to be in the temple? Were you fit to be in the presence of God? There were lots of jobs that were not immoral, but they did put you in contact with things that left you ceremonially unclean. Jesus making this leper clean is a profound statement. I want you to know that you are acceptable in the presence of God. And then Jesus heals a paralytic, and starting in 19, but finding no way to bring him in because of the crowds. You remember this story, the 4 friends that dig a hole in the roof and lower their paralyzed friend into Jesus' presence. And in verse 20, and when he saw their faith, he said, man, your sins are forgiven. Again, the problem that they were worried about was that their friend couldn't walk, but Jesus sees another problem and wants to solve that one too, and says, your sins are forgiven. Sins get in the way of our relationship with God, and Jesus says, no, I want you to know that I forgive you, that I want you to be clean, that I want you to follow me. Hey, I don't know where each of us are in our relationship with God, but man, Jesus came that we might be with him. Today maybe is a day where God would knock on your heart and say, I know that there's trouble. I know there's uncleanliness in you that you're just aware of. I know that you feel left out. I know that you don't feel worthy, but man, would you know that Jesus came, died on a cross, rose again, reigns in power, so that he might call you into his presence. Man, none of us in and of ourselves are clean enough, are well enough, are moral enough to be in the presence of God, and Jesus has fixed that problem. Man, today, if this is the first day you would say this, or this is the 1,000th day in a row you would say this, let this be a day where we say, Jesus, I will follow you. Hey, Trinity, have a great week.